If they cheer for Charlie Kirk, they would cheer for the murder of your children as well. And these people are rampant on TikTok, especially. Why did we save this platform? Americans wanted TikTok gone. You have all these Democrat politicians stoking violent rhetoric. It was important, and voters know it. Voters aren't dumb. After the second assassination attempt on Donald Trump in September of last year, we asked Americans, well, what is more to blame for these people that just, these random people that just start shooting at folks? And 36% of them said mental health, but 49% of them said the violent rhetoric of Donald Trump's opponents. So America knew by a plurality. This isn't about mental health, although it is. We'll see that too. But it's more about the fact that you have these politicians that for a decade have been calling Trump increasingly worse things until, violent dictator who's going to steal democracy. They think it's fascism. They think these crackdowns, kicking them out of the military and not allowing them to get free taxpayer-funded bottom surgeries is literally fascism. And they're willing to shoot people, apparently, at least some of them are. It's a big, angry, mentally unstable community. There's 480,000 people on the Reddit trans subreddit. Now, obviously, they're not all trans, but they're all probably at least one of the 72 genders. And I don't think those people want to get, sort of put back in the corner. I think they loved how they were the center of everything for the Biden administration. They had their flag hung from the White House right on the center. Massive photo opportunity. Absolutely crazy. But you also know, if you follow me, that I think that there's nearly a holy war in America between a side who espouses truth and a side who's constantly fed lies and then has to say the catechisms and worship the 100% pure cult beliefs. And the cult has been told to hate people that have dangerous opinions. And this is the result. They think they're worshiping their God here by cheering for the murder of the father of two children. If they cheer for Charlie Kirk, they would cheer for the murder of your children as well. And these people are rampant on TikTok, especially. Why did we save this platform? Americans wanted TikTok gone. I'm not 100% Trump guy. This was a major Trump error. And what happened to it anyways? Anybody know? Drop in the comments. What the heck happened I thought somebody was supposed to buy it. Are they still kicking the can? Unbelievable. And then, they're not healthy over here on Reddit politics either. Now, what was interesting is 3 hours after the assassination, I went here and there was not a single thing about Charlie Kirk. It was at the top of the hot posts on Reddit. It was all Epstein stuff, literally all Epstein stuff. Oh, they're going to force a vote. Oh, blah, blah, blah. Oh, they're going to finally know that Trump's a pedo. And now it's a little bit more, look at their number one thing now. They think that Trump has had a stroke. That's their biggest story right now. That's the biggest thing on the biggest political forum on the internet. 14,000 people like that. Now, obviously, Twitter is it's not a forum, but I don't know. Can you call Blue Sky a forum? Blue Sky's dying, though. I forget who said it. Somebody had a very profound tweet. Imagine fleeing Twitter because it's too toxic. Only go to Blue Sky and cheer for somebody's death. Unbelievable. So now we do have Charlie Kirk stories finally. Oh, Charlie Kirk's toxic legacy of hatred and division. Oh, it's his fault. His fault. We can condemn political violence, and this we can. They didn't in the headline, I'm just saying. And this hideous murder, while also condemning Charlie Kirk for the rotten, vile hatred he fomented. I mean, everything that Charlie Kirk did was focused on winning debate through logic and reasoning. And so facts are violence to these people. That's bad. I don't think you can fix that very easily when facts are violence. Trump uses Kirk's killing to declare war on the left and democracy. Well, maybe there's a little fear. Let's see what the main comment is there. I mean, they should be afraid. You should not be allowed to do that. I mean, there's laws about calls to violence, right? Where's the line? I don't know. I'm a First Amendment guy for sure, but the Constitution isn't a suicide pact. And nobody's laws can be 100% sacrosanct. Everybody's rights are always bumping up against each other. That's why we have things like the court to sort stuff out. So if Trump needs to do things to keep Americans safe, then maybe the ballot box and the courts can sort that out. Tens of thousands. Oh, and it's back to Epstein. Tens of thousands of Epstein emails unearthed. They're probably ones we already knew about. He ordered the flag half-mast for Charlie Kirk, but not for Melissa Hortman. That's one of the state legislators that was killed in, was it also Minnesota or was it whatever? No, Charlie Kirk was not practicing politics the right way. Really? Like, it's all justification. I won't be shedding any tears for Charlie Kirk at LGBTQ Nation. Trump could show he's serious about stopping political violence by rescinding the January 6th pardons. These people are sick. There is no rationality here. This is a Hill story too. Unbelievable. So here's kind of where I think we're at. One poster said, there's a new political divide forming. If you celebrate when an innocent person whose political views differ from you is assassinated, you're gone. Don't care what that person's political persuasion is or how strongly you disagree with them. Can't think of one counterexample. Whatever. I said, here's the political divide. Here's what I think is going on. There are people who want murderers tried and executed. That's called justice. And then there are people who want their enemies executed. The latter group can't tell the difference between right and wrong. That is exactly where we're at right now. And, which side do you want to be on? Holy moly. Justice or extrajudicial political killings? This was said by Mike Rowe. I thought this was pretty interesting too. It feels like somebody shot the First Amendment. And I couldn't agree more. And then Mike Cernovich has been saying a lot of interesting things as well. He's a good follow if you haven't followed him. Cernovich, Trump could deploy the military to every Democrat city and he would grow in popularity. It always comes back to the polling. We are a representative democracy. What people think about the actions that our leaders take are very, very important. So please follow me because I'm the only one that tells you the truth. Well, Rich does too. And the other guys in the National Association of Independent Pollsters, but me and Rich have the biggest mouths. So follow us. Everyone is over it. Anyone close to Trump who is telling him to exercise fake caution is a traitor and a spy. Now's the time to move swiftly and shut this all down. And that got a lot of attention. I mean, he's a big account. He's got, I think, like 1 million followers, 11,000 likes, pretty big deal. And then also today was pretty fascinating because there were people, I said, looks like people will be demon hunting today because all of these people, I didn't do any of this, but another good follow at Nero, Milo Yiannopoulos, took it upon himself to lead the vanguard of people coming after the depraved lunatics that were celebrating Charlie Kirk's assassination. And he said some crazy, awesome stuff. Today, you have just one job: get 50 people fired. I don't have the tweet, but I saw somebody tweeted, well, my daughter's gymnastics coach was on cheering, and I called the owner of the gym to tell him, and he said, well, she's been fired because I've been getting calls since 4 a.m. So apparently a lot of folks are, and this is not canceling. That's a very different thing. Canceling is, listen, I don't believe in canceling either, but this is not societally appropriate behavior. And I do think that there should be a consequence for saying things, not a legal consequence, not a law enforcement consequence, not a financial necessarily consequence. But if you act like a ghoul in a society, there should be consequences. We shouldn't be afraid to call people out for bad behavior. That's how we clean our communities up. And that happens. If you're I grew up in a very tight community. If you act like a schmuck, people will call you a schmuck. You'll get a reputation. And somebody will come and correct you eventually, right? If it gets bad enough. I've seen it happen. But it's like our lives are so fractured and focused on ourselves, so insular and so transitional. We move so much. We don't set down roots. We live in subdevelopments and not communities. There's so many people who've not had their behavior corrected. So many people that it would have just have been better if they got popped in the mouth on the playground field during recess, and that never happened to them. That's not allowed to happen. You're not allowed to play dodgeball anymore, and so there's a lot of people who have not learned these lessons, and there should be consequences for acting antisocially. And now a lot of people are finding that out because there were not people on the right who thought it was right to go and cancel people for their First Amendment views. But this is different. This is literally evil. The Bible says that we have a responsibility to attack evil in all its forms. Yeah, here's an example. Douglas Gibbs and Glenn Eggert are airline pilots. Gibbs flies for Delta and Eggert flies for American Air. They're publicly celebrating Charlie Kirk's death. To hold an ATP certificate, one must be of sound moral character. Are they? And I don't know if they got fired yet, but look, 555,000 views, 30,000 likes. What did this guy say? I think it's worth to have a cost of, unfortunately, some gun deaths every single year so that we can have the Second Amendment to protect our God-given rights. Okay, that's a prudent deal. It's rational. Nobody talks like this. They live in a complete it's a Charlie Kirk quote. Oh, thoughts and prayers, MFer. Oh, man. I thought that was his quote. It was a Charlie Kirk quote. I was like, oh, okay, this guy's rational. Oh, nope. Demonic.